So they don't actually tell you how much it is.
tricky.
They hide it behind like pseudo wall of information where they're just like, oh, it's part of our blend and it's in there.
Now, this might be a rhetorical question, but why is caffeine your favorite supplement? I mean, I think we all know the answer to that, but
caffeine helps me get through the day. I love it. Caffeine is a stimulant.
Central nervous system stimulant.
It's the most commonly used drug in the world. Fun fact. And it's great. It gives you energy.
So there are cognitive benefits. There's the benefits of like being able to react to things faster, right? Both either like if you're driving or if you're in the athletic world. I mean, there's a ton of studies on caffeine, and it's very effective.
I feel like there aren't too many myths around caffeine just because most people seem to use it appropriately. I mean, we've all had the anecdotal experience of having a long day at work and you have no energy to get to the gym. You take your pre-workout and you're ready to crush it. I mean, it helps. It's effective. This is another supplement that's been extensively researched. So
and guys, we actually have an article on this, on caffeine myths. For those of you, I was just thinking of that in my head, who may believe that it stunts your growth for children and that sort of thing. Like there's all these there are a lot of myths. I'm not sure how many people believe that anymore, but my parents wouldn't let me have coffee growing up because they believed it would stunt my growth. So apparently it was important to them that I be tall. I don't know.
Cool.
I mean, priorities. But, yeah. You can look it up on the Avatar blog. The myth that it's just bad for you in general, that it's going to cause heart disease, that is just not true. I mean, there's obviously a bell curve.
Yeah, you can't abuse it either. You
can't abuse it. Like a little bit actually has been shown to be beneficial. Then there gets to a point where it becomes bad for you, just like anything else. And there's actually, you can get your DNA tested and figure out there's some genes that dictate how much coffee is good for you. And for some people, like they can have many cups of coffee and it's actually is good for them. And other people just like can have 2 and it's bad for them. And they actually tied that to genes.
Really?
Yeah.
Everything's genetics, man. It's
crazy. I know. Beta-alanine.
I like beta-alanine.
All right. What does it do and who is it good for?
Ooh, okay. So beta-alanine is a precursor to another molecule called carnosine. Carnosine it is a buffer for acid in your body or in your blood. So when your cells store this molecule called carnosine, and when your pH starts to drop, or when your blood becomes more acidic, it releases it so that it becomes like a buffer. So to try to maintain the right acidity in your blood. What's cool about that is that it is, I've actually heard that taking beta-alanine is more effective than actually supplementing with carnosine itself. Yeah,
that's true. Absolutely.
Yeah. So what it is, if you think about exercise, we all know that when you're doing exercise, in particular, more of the aerobic style of exercise, you begin to accumulate lactic acid. And if you think about what acid would do to your blood, it acidifies it, right? It makes it more acidic, or rather it drops the pH of your blood. So your body begins to release this molecule called carnosine as a way to combat that, as a buffer. So basically we want to maintain the right pH in your blood. So in other words, that's a very long way of me saying that beta-alanine is a very useful product to enhance your ability to perform, especially on the aerobic side of different exercises.
Yep. And so a lot of people, like weightlifters, will be like, oh, I need the beta-alanine. Not as much for like just weightlifting, unless you're doing long sets with many reps, like over 10, then it might be beneficial. But for most people, it's not going to be as much. Like when we're talking about people who are really going to benefit, we're thinking about people who are like 400 meter runners, for example, people who are doing some type of activity for like 60 seconds or longer, like a minute to 2 minutes. Those are the people who are going to benefit the very, very most. But beta-alanine does have that side effect of causing you to tingle. And we all know how important that is to having a great workout, that feeling like, man, I'm going to kill it. And it's all part of that placebo experience.
Totally.
So it could be beneficial in that way, just mentally.
Yeah, and beta-alanine is one of those things. Like I said, it gets converted into carnosine in your body and then gets stored in your cells. So it's not actually having a very acute effect as it relates to its ability to become a buffer. But what you do experience is the acute effect of the tingles. So you take it with caffeine, and that's sort of your mind's trigger, like, oh, the pre-workout's kicking in. And that's the psychological / placebo component of why it's effective. But really what it's doing is allowing you to basically do more sets or have longer workouts. Not only will it help if you're doing sets with higher reps, but it'll also help if you're doing workouts that are like 60 to 90 minutes, So it allows you to, over the course of time, do more work.
And how much does it take to be effective? Usually 2 to 5 grams, right? Next up, citrulline. Citrulline increases the production of nitric oxide and increases your ability to perform and recover.
Yeah, it's a precursor of arginine, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah, so it also helps with nitric oxide production, so vasodilation, increases blood flow to your muscles. This has the secondary result of being beneficial for aerobic exercise as well.
And if you think about it, there's nutrients that are going to feed your muscles so that you can work harder longer, like oxygen, for instance, and then it also can take away waste. Right? So getting more blood flow to muscle, it's a very good thing for performance.
It's like adding, like if you have a highway that's going like to and from your muscle, you're just like adding more lanes to the highway so you can allow more nutrients to go in.
That's such a good analogy.
Yes, got it. So it allows more nutrients to go in, it allows more waste to come out.
Yeah.
So it's a really useful product. I personally use this one as well. I call it powdered pump because it has like the acute effect of like making you feel really full when you're training and really makes your muscles feel really full. It's like a good feel.
And so that mental part, guys, is just as important as what it's actually doing physically in terms of getting oxygen and waste away from your muscles. So just like that placebo effect, going into a workout feeling like you're going to go beast mode on the weights is huge. And so in general, for athletic performance, you would need about 6 to 8 grams to really be effective. If you look at your pre-workout products, most of them don't have close to 6 grams. Most of them only have 1 gram or 2, which is going to be effective for increasing blood flow, but not as much for athletic performance. So it's not going to hurt anything. There may be some mild benefit, but if you really want to get the most, I know a lot of people who will buy their own citrulline and make their own, add it to their favorite pre-workouts.
That's exact. Mark and I both do that. I don't know if anyone else. Do you use?
You're serious
citrulline?
About it. Yeah. I don't even right now use pre-workout. I haven't gone to the gym in 2 weeks. I'm a horrible example right now. Got that business owner's bod going.
Yeah, citrulline is one that I personally like and enjoy. I think it makes you, makes you feel good.
It gives you that pump.
Yeah, it's like extra pump.
Who doesn't want to get the pump?
So like Katie mentioned, citrulline tends to be, as supplements go, it tends to be one of the more expensive ingredients. So like she said, a lot of supplement companies will underdose this. So they don't actually tell you how much it is. They hide it behind like pseudo wall of information where they're just like, oh, it's part of our blend and it's in there. But basically with citrulline specifically, just look out for that and make sure that you are getting an effective dose, which is about 6 to 8 grams.
Yeah, caffeine and creatine are actually pretty darn cheap compared to a lot of these ingredients. But your carnitine, your citrulline, your beta-alanine, these are things that are more expensive, particularly citrulline and carnitine, like you were saying.
Yeah.
All right, so carnitine. So this one's going to be helpful for recovery, assisting in muscle recovery and reducing soreness post-workout. That's what most people use it for in a post-workout product. You're going to want about 500 milligrams to 2 grams to really be effective. And again, this is another one of those supplements where there's no optimal timing for it. We're just trying to build that up over time.
Yeah.